Let's get another perspective on the health of the Eurozone, or lack thereof these days. To do so, I spoke to Jeffrey Sachs. He's the director of the Earth Institute at Columbia University. I asked Dr. Jeffrey Sachs what he made of the clash between the IMF and the European Commission.
I think that Europe made serious mistakes in the last 3 years. Basically, till this day, the Eurozone has not solved the banking crisis. And the banking crisis is extremely severe in Greece, of course, where the banks are basically bust and need to be recapitalized, as well as in the other southern tier countries. This has been viewed too much as a fiscal problem, get the budget under control. It has not been viewed enough as get bank lending up and going again so that small and medium enterprises can survive, people can be hired, and businesses can pay their taxes. And so I think that the financial side of this crisis was underemphasized, and this has been a serious problem all along until today.
So tackling the symptoms and not the causes. The ECB is also part of the Troika. Do you think it should be doing more to try and lend to small businesses?
I do. I think that some new direct lending facilities that somehow enable credit to get to enterprise so that these asphyxiated economies that can't breathe right now can regain some life even before the full cleaning up of the banking sector, which is hard work and very messy work, and necessarily takes some years. But you can't wait years for small and medium enterprise to get credit. An economy without working capital is a dying economy, a shrinking economy. A shrinking economy means an economy where taxes are not paid. That means large budget deficits. That's the vicious circle. But if you don't intervene by restoring some oxygen to the economy, and by that I mean working capital for small and medium enterprise, you won't be able to solve this problem. And unfortunately, especially the way Germany has viewed this as a fiscal problem, get your house in order around the budget, has not been an adequate view of the problem. And in these crisis moments, the fund, I think, has been on the better side, saying it's more complicated, but it has not been as pragmatic as necessary to come up with working solutions.
And ever so briefly, we've also seen the human capital side of the equation being extremely hardly hit with rising unemployment, terrible youth unemployment figures. What is today's report and admission by the IMF going to mean for other countries that are bailed out?
Well, I think that it requires a rethink. In my view, also the United States, also Europe has not taken a very holistic view of this crisis. Obviously, this is a crisis which transcends very particular issues. It's about banking. Of course, it's about fiscal policy to some extent. It's also about changing technology, changing work needs in the labor force. So we need a richer macroeconomics than just saying it's austerity versus spending.